firstly, I'm here to talk to you guys about Canada's international relations with Britain. You can see that there's a huge declination because, first of all, Canada is separating from Britain. Some continuities, however, that you'll see is that the Union Jack is still our flag, God Save the King is still our anthem, and our Home Office, which deals with our international relations, is still found in England. And at this point in time, you know that World War I started. We were forced to go since we're under the British rule, but we're thirsty to get some power and to have allies and to fight for our kingdom. Now, let's talk about how our currency bills have still Queen Victoria on it, and Canada refused to fight in the China crisis, which also shows our independence from Britain. That's why it's going down. Now, let's talk about Canada's international relations with Britain from 1918 to 1939. At this point in time, Canada is slowly separating from Britain. Canada becomes a full member of the League of Nations in 1927 without being under the British Empire. And there's a huge event that happens, that's the King Byng affair, which William Mackenzie King would like a re-election, but the Governor General said no, which caused huge hatred for the British Empire. And then another major event, a historical moment in Canada's history, is when the Statute of Westminster in 1931 declared that Canada is fully separated from Britain. All their Canada's civil and foreign affairs are now self-governed. However, Canada is still under the Commonwealth program. Still, some continuities that I said before. Union Jack flag is still our flag. God Save the King is still our anthem. Now let's talk about Britain's international relation with Canada from 1939 to 1945. At this point in time, World War II has begun. But since we're not under British rule, we do not have to go to war, but we wanted to. Canada and Britain are still allies. However, we have some continuities. The Union Jack flag is still our flag. God Save the King is still our anthem. Currency bills still have Queen Victoria on it. But Mackenzie King wants to remove Canada from the trammels of the British imperialism, so he starts bringing in more allies from other countries. We also have this new British Commonwealth air training plan during World War II, which helps train soldiers to fly. Britain still had influence on Canadian decisions and policies, but still we're separating even more from Britain. That's why it's going even lower. Now, let's talk about Canada's international relations with Britain from 1946 to 65. At this point in time, after World War II, Britain's position in the world has fallen, and so Canada is separating more and more and joining forces with the USA. Canada is still part of the Commonwealth, so they still have ties with Britain. People still believe in the British ways, but more and more are changing. Canada flag is now the maple leaf, but the anthem is still God Save the King, and the currency bill still have Queen Victoria on it. And finally, let's talk about Britain's international relations with Canada from 1965 to 2019. At this point in time, nothing really major happened. Our anthem, it has changed to O Canada. Our flag is the maple leaf. And we now have in 1982, the Constitution Act was passed, which gave Canada completely free because the UK transferred its final legal powers to Canada through the Constitution, which includes the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. But Canada is still under the British Commonwealth, and we still have influences from the British monarch, and we still have a Governor General. So at this point in time, you can see many continuities, but there has been severely amount of changes, which may be good, may be bad, but in my opinion, I think it was good because it allowed Canada to be shaped to who we are today. Thank you. I'll see you in the next clip.